quick thank you to Sussy Dora 7427 for the video idea on Overwatch creepypastas. So, creepypastas, I actually haven't read a lot of them. When I was younger, like when I was in middle school, I would read them more often. My first creepypasta was Jeff the Killer, and my cousin, Nikki, she put it on the computer for us, for me and my sister, and I think I was like, oh shit, I might have been 7 at the time, and my older sister was 11 or 12. No, she was 11. And we were watching the creepypasta video, and it was like where the guy was like saying the story blah 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 about Jeff the Killer. And that was my very first exposure to creepypastas, and I did not know what a creepypasta was. So things I'm going to talk about, some of them are actual like creepypastas, like 2 of them, and then I also want to talk about just creepy shit that happened in the game. So, you know, I want to mix it up because there's not a lot of creepypastas on Overwatch, and a couple of them, they're kind of like, oh god, I might be a little fucking rude for this, but they're a little bit like badly written. Like you could tell like the author was young when they wrote this, so like it was hard for me to read it. So I just picked like the ones that I felt like were the easiest to read or concepts that would make me scared. I know this is technically not a creepypasta, the first one I'm going to talk about, but I think it's something to mention. There are a lot of weird glitches going on with Overwatch. So if anyone remembers when you first got Black Cat Diva, her face would be completely faceless, like nothing would be on her face. And this glitch, I don't remember exactly how long it was going on, but I want to say at least like a month or so. And this actually did happen to me before, because I remember I was wearing this skin and I was emoting, and I could see that her face was like completely fucking gone. This happened in Overwatch 1, so any Overwatch 2 users, you probably won't remember or never heard of this, but yes, in Overwatch 1, when they released Blizzard World with I think it was 5 new skins, one of them was the Black Cat Diva, there was a glitch that would make Diva's face just completely faceless in her mech. It was so fucking creepy and it was so fucking weird. She looked like Slender Man, basically, literally like Slender Man, and it was such a weird glitch.
施錠をしたとはいえ、こんな古い木の扉なんて簡単に破られるだろうな。
And then I have another post talking about a Moira face glitch as well. And this is an article from dextertoad.com by Bill Cooney. And he goes on to say that there is a really weird glitch with Moira's face where like her muscles are completely gone. And she had such a, I don't know, it was just like a monstrosity. It was fucking weird. Like when you look up close to her face when she's laughing just stands still. It's like an emote. So when she's laughing, her mouth is just like a smiling teeth with her teeth close together, and she's smiling, and she's moving her head, and it's with an emote. I actually have the clip because I got it from the website from dextertoad.com by Bill Cooney, and I'm gonna provide the clip so you guys can see how fucking weird it looks. The next one I want to mention is actually a Reddit post from Living Life Like You Know on the Overwatch subreddit, and it's a creepy voice in Paraiso. Now this Reddit post got a lot of attention, has 1.1k upvotes and 195 comments. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will leave a link in the description for this Reddit post, as well as the article if you guys want to look at the article. I'm only going to read what the user said in a couple of the comments because some people were actually looking into this. The user says, "Hey everyone, just started playing and came across something unusual. I was in a match on Paraiso with Roadhog, Reaper, Widowmaker, Ana, and Moira. During a fight, I went to a corner for healing, and I heard a girl's voice saying, 'Why are you over here?' Widowmaker responded with, and the Roadhog said, 'Weird. I'm in silver. Didn't know about this spot, and it caught me off guard. Both Roadhog and I were in the chat like, what the fuck was that? I've never heard this before, and it kind of scared me. Lol, I'm 23, and I'm sure this would spook any little kid. Don't know why it's in here.'" A couple of the top comments were asking what part of the map was it at, And New Rich Mango actually did ask this question. They said, can you describe what part of the map you were in? The original post responded with, it was a payload through the first gate where that long stretch of road is. There was a big fight there and I had to jump away, so I DK exactly where it is. Another user, Captain Orc, asked, post the replay code so we can see where you were. The OP responded with, unfortunately I played more than it will show me, but I know it was that map 100%. Aaron9559 responded with, maybe DM the other players in your game for it? Black Belt Blood responded with, who are you playing as, Widow? Another user, Sleepy Greed, said, I believe you, gonna do some testing myself. Kinda sucks they didn't pin the replay, or clip it, or anything, but I understand. Sometimes you don't think about that sort of thing till after. It might be a very specific interaction that might not have to do with the map at all. I also wondered if you misheard which hero said what, or if it was the voice lines at all. Please elaborate with as much detail as you can, like where on the map, and who was around, and only tell me the things you are certain of. OP responded with, found the location of the long driveway with the long blue wall leading up into the house with the candy cane door. IDK if I hit the door or something to trigger it. J Fraud Gaming also said, just try this with a friend, and did everything that was suggested in the comments here. My friend was Widow and I was Hog. We capped first point and went up the long road with the blue wall. We hit the door, shot at it, tried using our abilities, and we didn't hear any voices, nor did our characters say a word to each other. We also spawned some bots that were the same character that as OP said was on their team. I really wish this was real, but I'm fairly sure this is either a hoax or it's one of those voice lines from Widow where she says, why are we pushing the cart? Which OP said one of the words they heard was why from a female voice. A couple of theories in the Reddit post was that this was a Venture Easter egg. And honestly, I think I did hear this voice line, but I never really paid attention to it. I think I heard Hog saying weird, and I just was not paying attention for some reason. And this is before Venture came out. So I'm pretty sure this is a Venture Easter egg, or it could just be another hoax. Maybe like I'm misremembering it. And this one's an actual creepypasta that somebody wrote from XX Iraq, and it's called May.exe. And I'll also link this story or this creepypasta in the description if you guys want to read it. But I'm just gonna read it and give you guys the rundown. This creepypasta goes in about how the user or the author was recently kicked out of their mom's home and how they wanted to buy a new PlayStation 4 with the new Overwatch game. However, this pre-owned Overwatch game with a red Sharpie was written Overwatch. The author didn't think much about it and just plugged it in, and they were playing the Paul as Mercy with a Hog on their team and a couple of the other characters. And there was a May on the enemy team. The May got the play of the game, and at the end of the game, binary code popped up with nothing but zeros and ones, and a zoomed up picture of May's bloody eyes with a grin on her face. This one's a more, I feel like a troll, creepypasta, just because the very first thing that it says on the author's note is, my boyfriend Jeff the Killer will kill you or something like that. And I was like, okay, this has to be a troll or very, very edgy teenager, because why? but the concept is scary, okay? The concept is scary enough for me to be like, okay, this would be kind of scary if all of a sudden I'm playing Overwatch and nothing but binary code just popped the fuck out my screen. And it's of like some Overwatch character's eyes all fucking bloody. Like, I could see that could be kind of scary. You know, I feel like they kind of like took some inspiration from Ben Drowned, but you know what? It's scary enough. Okay, so it's okay. You know, it's a little childish. Yes, the story is kind of weird. I mean, a little childish, and the it's kind of obvious that it's supposed to be a troll. But you know what? The concept is scary enough. Okay, I let it slide. In this story, the author goes on to talk about playing a new game of Overwatch. And on their team, they had a Reaper called XX Bloody Moon XX. They later on went to describe how this character or this person on their team was pretty erratic. When they would speak, there'd be nothing coming out of their mic, nothing but static. And at one point, they would just keep repeating, Lori will kill. Lori will kill. A couple of their teammates would say, your mic is broken, something's wrong with your mic, and I hear nothing but static. But once it was cleared up, that's when the Lori will kill started to happen, or they started to repeat it. However, once OP decided to confront this person and ask their teammates like, hey, isn't this Reaper acting kind of weird? One of their other teammates on their team said, there is no Reaper on our team. OP was a little confused because they could have sworn that they were interacting with the Reaper, emoting at them, seeing them in spawn, but none of the other teammates seemed to realize or noticed. The game was strange, to say the least. The OP would later on describe that they would randomly die, and at one point, the Reaper kept walking off the edge, and it was just acting extremely strange. However, they lost the match, and at the end of the game, the OP got a call from his dad, and it was saying that his mom has passed away or was murdered, and OP asked if there was a Lori will kill on her body or a note or anything like that, and the dad described yes, that it was on her body. Now this one is pretty creepy. Like I said, it's just, you know, kind of crazy to think like, oh, like your mom died from a Reaper, but you know what, I think it's creepy enough. I think it's a neat little story, you know, and there's not a lot of Overwatch creepypastas, but I was looking around, mostly just like creepy stuff or creepy theories. And these are the two creepypastas I saw the most. There is one called Soldier 666, but the grammar was really bad. I couldn't read it. I was like, God, I can't take this seriously. The grammar is bad. Trust me, the May.exe was also pretty cringe, but like I like the concept a little bit more than the Soldier 666. I think the May.exe is a little bit more scarier than the Soldier 666, and then the Reaper one, the one I just read or described, was the best written of all of them. And I also think that like the idea, okay, this might be fucking weird, maybe I'm overthinking it, but just imagine you're playing a game, you have a person on your team, right? And take out all the supernatural shit, okay? Let's say this person was an actual like fucking serial killer and they're on your team, and then you hear them talk and they sound like a normal dude, like, oh, whatever. And let's say like the next day you turn on the computer or like the news and you see someone was killed and you see this person, you're like, oh man, that's a fucking murder, that's crazy. But then you hear them speak and it sounds the exact same person that was on your team the night before. Like that would freak me out. At least that would give me like a, whoa, what the fuck? It's kind of like there's the, what was it, the game show killer. It was a dating game show, and this dude was an actual fucking serial killer, and he popped up in the dating game show, and he actually won the date. But luckily, oh thank God, the lady who's supposed to go on a date with him, she said she got creepy vibes from him and she canceled. Good on her, because holy shit, I cannot imagine that she goes on this date with this fucking serial killer and she dies. But yeah, no, he was like literally on the fucking run, and he was on this dating game show. Like the fucking absurd, like the craziness, the absurdity of it all. And it was like the one of like I think it was the Steve Harvey's game, Family Feud. It was banned, by the way, but this dude was like saying like how he hates his wife, but it was supposed to be a joke, like haha, so funny. And then he actually killed his wife 2 years later, and I'm pretty sure it was like the episode already aired, which is why it was like kind of eerie to see him like talk shit about his wife and then for him to kill her. So that was pretty fucking crazy. Like, to me, that's a scary concept. But like, that's just in my opinion. Like, if I was playing on a game of Overwatch and I'm talking to some random dude or random girl and turns out like they end up killing someone, or they were a serial killer, that would freak me out. Cause I'd be like overthinking, like, bro, what if I fucking died? Like, what if they got my location or something? But I'm just saying, this is just like my own fear. I know this is something that I would normally not do, or a video that is a little bit different than what I normally would do, but I thought it was a fun idea, like a little fun little, you know, why not, you know. Thank you to Sessidora7427 again for the suggestion. It was pretty fun, you know. I kind of like to think the scarier sides of games, or like the darker sides. Like, there's so many like scary theories, and I would love to like maybe one day dive into like the creepy ass theories on Overwatch, or make like an iceberg Overwatch video, but that will take a lot of time because there's so much shit with Overwatch. Not even just like the game itself or creepy things that happen in the game, but I'm talking about like Blizzard as a fucking company as a whole is extremely dark. Like, everyone knows about the allegations and the sexual assault and Cole Cassidy's name change, all that stuff. Like, we all know about that. But there's so much, oh my gosh. Because I had to do a research project in college for, what was it? I think it was like, what was it? I don't remember what it was, but it was a research project I had to do. It probably had to do something, oh, I remember now. It had to pick a topic that you thought was pretty interesting, and it's supposed to be a research project, and I think it was for my freshman year of college, and it's supposed to dive into like something that I think is pretty interesting based on like the topics that was discussed. And one that was talking about what was it? I think it was like women, and I was like, what if I talk about women in gaming? Why the fuck not? You know? So I picked women in gaming, and I ended up finding a bunch of shit about Blizzard and stories, as well as other stuff from like women's accounts that were in gaming. Either they were the players or they were actually developers, stuff like that.